Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Soda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parikam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Bhagavad Gita 17:11. Ahalya Kamshivir Yajno
Yajno
Vidhidishtoya Ijyade
Vidhidishtoya Ijyate
Yastavyam Evedi Mana
Yastavyam Evedi Mana
Samadhaya Sasatvika
Samadhaya Sasatvika
Ahalya Kamshivir Yajno Vidhidishtoya Ijyade
Vidhidishtoya Ijyate
Yastavyam Evedi Manaha
Yastavyam Evedi Mana
Samadhaya Sasatvika
Samadhaya Sasatvika
Ahalya Kamshivir Yajno
Kamshivir Yajno
Vidhidishtoya Ijyade
Vidhidishtoya Ijyate
Yastavyam Evedi Mana
Yastavyam Evedi Mana
Samadhaya Sasatvika
Samadhaya Sasatvika Apalakam Shivir Yajno
Ahalya Kamshivir Yajno
Vidhidishtoya Ijyate
Vidhidishtoya Ijyade
Yastavyam Evedi Mana
Yastavyam Evedi Mana
Samadhaya Sasatvika
Samadhaya Sasatvika
Apalakankshibiryagno
Ahalya Kamshivir Yajno
Vidhidishto yajyate
Vidhidishtoya Ijyade
Yastavyam yeveti manaha
Yastavyam Evedi Manaha
Samadhaya sasatvika
Samadhaya Sasatvika. Anyone else? Mataji's? Ahalya Kamshivir Yajno Vidhidishtoya Ijyade Yastavyam Evedi Manaha Samadhaya Sasatvika. Anyone else? Okay, so I'm going to skip the synonyms and go to the translation. Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of Scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. It's worth reading once more. Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the direction of Scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The general tendency is to offer sacrifice with some purpose in mind. But here it is stated that sacrifice should be performed without any such desire. It should be done as a matter of duty. Take, for example, the performance of rituals in temples or in churches. Generally, they are performed with the purpose of material benefit. But that's not in the mode of goodness. One should go to a temple or church as a matter of duty, offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and offer flowers and eatables without any purpose of obtaining material benefit. Everyone thinks that there is no use in going to the temple just to worship God. But worship for economic benefit is not recommended in the scriptural injunctions. One should go simply to offer respect to the deity. That will place one in the mode of goodness. It is the duty of every civilized man to obey the injunctions of the scriptures and offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnana Timirandasyam Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stavidam Yena Bhudale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadadvi Swam Padantigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhudam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidamscha Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopiga Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gauringi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Pushabhani Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanscha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, thank you all for coming. I'm greatly honored and privileged to be able to say something this evening to you. Please come forward. There will be more people coming later. So if you can please keep both sides of Srila Prabhupada open, that would help people to come in. So I want to show my gratitude to His Grace Balabhadra Prabhu for that wonderful Jai Radha Govind Madhava. My wife threatened me, not only has to she suffer from my talk, but also from the singing. She said, that's it. So thank you, Prabhu, for saving. So here it is a verse where Srila Prabhupada is talking about importance of coming to the temple for offering respect to the deity. Why do we come here? Why do you come here, Prabhu?
Yeah, just to spiritually recharge.
Spiritually recharge. So, exactly. So, like Tesla has these electric vehicles. They have recharging stations along the way. This is our spiritual recharging station. Monday through Saturday, we are hit with material world and all the problems associated with it. Work, boss, job, family, kids, neighbors, relatives. Thanksgiving is coming, so everybody can relate to the relatives issue, right? So we are getting bombarded and bloodied, spiritually speaking, mentally speaking, emotionally speaking. Isn't that true? And to recharge our spiritual batteries, you all have the cell phone, right? What happens if you don't charge it?
You are dead.
So, in the same way, our soul, we are all spirit souls, right? Anyone has a doubt about that? So, that spirit soul needs charging. And that's the reason we come to the temple. And here, the charging, so what do we do in the temple? Anyone? What do we do?
Shravanam Kirtanam.
Huh?
Hearing and Kirtanam.
Hear, chant, yeah, sing,
Worship.
worship,
Prashadam.
prasada, excellent. Most important part. To be honest with you, the only reason I used to come to the temple was because we didn't have to cook on Sunday night and it was a free dinner. Actually, Srila Prabhupada once got all his senior sannyasis in the room and asked each one of them, Balabhadra Prabhu, you know this, right? Why did you come? Every one of them said, Srila Prabhupada, for the prasada. That was the honest answer. They all told it. And he asked every single one of them. These are all senior sannyasis, initiating gurus. So, that's an important part of our worship. So, in fact, I was trying to find out what are all the things that that we do in the temple. And Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, nectar of devotion, I could come up with 24 things. Can you believe that? I can get to that. Actually, that was quite astonishing. 24 separate items. Why we come to what we do in the temple. So let me see. So going to the temple of Vishnu, that is step number 1, right? We need to. So stated in Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya, persons who are impelled by pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness, therefore go to see the deities of Vishnu or Krishna in the temple. What is happening? Technical difficulty?
You just wiggle the other one on the other on top.
Okay, so that's step number 1. Okay, once you come to the temple, what happens next? Oops. Seeing the deity. So every Purana has references to this. In the Varaha Purana, there is a statement praising seeing of the deity Sri Krishna in the temple. My dear Vasundhara, any person who goes to Vrindavan sees the deity of Govinda Deva, is free from the courthouse of Yamaraja, it is allowed to enter into the highest planetary system in which reside the demigods. So by simply visiting the temple in the proper mood, so this is the point, we have to fake it until we make it, right? We don't have the true love for Krishna yet. Mullaidhar Keshav Prabhu is not here, right? He might disagree with me. There may be people, but I can speak for myself. So to develop love for Krishna, if we have that true love, we will love every other living being, including Shashi Prabhu, including Balabhadra Prabhu, including Vishnugata Prabhu, including that Mataji, including this man. Every single soul we would love, if we have the true love for Krishna. Why do we feel enmity towards someone? Why do we think, oh, so and so has an attitude issue? Why do we think, oh, this person is not respecting me, he didn't smile at me? Because we haven't developed the true love for the Lord. Once we get to that stage, none of these issues we have on everyday basis, it won't be there. How do you know? You have to trust the acharyas who have seen it. So until we get there, the saying goes, fake it until you make it, right? Isn't it? So we have to go through the motions, the rituals, the prescriptions that Srila Prabhupada has kindly given us, the acharyas have given us, in order to develop that total love, unflinching love for the Lord. So the temple worship is an important part of our sadhana. So seeing the deity, bowing down before the deity. So when the curtains open, what do we do? We bow down before the deity. And the scriptures have statements for every single one of them. Standing up to receive the Lord. When the arati comes, what do? We stand up, right? That is to show respect for the Lord. Isn't it? Accepting flower garlands. The flower garlands, so in the Skanda Purana, Lord Brahma tells Narada, my dear Narada, anyone who puts on the neck the flower garland which was formerly used by Krishna becomes relieved from all disease and reactions to sinful activities, and gradually is liberated from the contamination of matter. So this is something we do, right? Okay. Accepting flower garlands, dancing before the deity. Didn't we just do the dancing? There was a young boy who was dancing in ecstasy. I don't know his name, but he may be the Balaviharna. So, Sunday school. So, the dancing, my mind, when you are happy, you dance, right? Can you become happy by dancing? What comes first, happiness or dancing? It can be the other way too, right? So dancing before the deity, again, I don't have to go through, you can read the Nectar of Devotion and see all these affirmations, how these steps are so important in order to get our sadhana. So I have to tell you a funny story regarding dancing. I was very shy with dancing for a long time. So in Krishna consciousness, dancing is very important, right? The devotees jump up and down. So coming from Kerala, southern part of India, very reserved state, we are not into dancing. The maximum we do is this. So one day, I was listening to my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami's lecture, and he was telling a story where Lord Brahma is dancing. Lord Shiva is dancing by seeing the rasa dance of Lord Krishna and the gopis. And who are the little jiva souls so insignificant, who may be a worm next life, sitting there and doing this? So he was generally speaking. So that people go to discos and dance, right? Right? After a few drinks, they have no problem dancing. But in front of the Hare Krishna in the temple. So this is why dancing to please the Lord, dancing in ecstasy, that is very important part of our worship. Throwing away the inhibitions. Can you see? Can you see the book? So this dancing is a human tendency, or actually animal tendency. Have you seen cubs, little baby animals? What do? They dance. So it's a manifestation of happiness in all forms of life. So this is something we do very routinely in the temple. Circumambulating the temple of Vishnu. It is said in the Haribhakti Shuddhodaya, a person who is circumambulating the deity of Vishnu can counteract the circumambulation of repeated birth and death in the material world. So we don't have the facility to do that here, but we can do one side. In the new temple, we will have the facility to do parikram. So we can go around the deities. Drinking charanamrita. So, kept there, charanamrita is obtained in the morning while the Lord is being washed before dressing. Scented with perfumes and flowers, water comes gliding down through his lotus feet. It is collected and mixed with yogurt. In this way, this charanamrita not only becomes very tastefully flavored, but also of tremendous spiritual value. So, the prayers, we have written the prayers there. Agala mrityu haranam, sarva vyadhi vinashanam, Vishnoha padodagam pitva, shirasa dhariyamyaha. That is the prayers we have written there. When you take 2-3 drops of the charanamrita and you sip it and you offer it on your forehead. So that is another important step we do here. Smelling the incense and flowers offered to the deity. We do that, right? Prabhu, he is very fond of giving the flower offered to the deity to the congregation. So this is another important thing. When the smell, actually the Kumaras, they were not devotees before. After smelling the tulasi offered to the Lord, that's when the 4 Kumaras became staunch devotees. That turned on the switch in their minds. So there are many stories in the scriptures. Archana. There are many examples also where the Lord Archana is given to the Lord, singing. We already talked about that. Reciting notable prayers. Vishnugata sometimes sings prayers from our acharyas, right? We don't have the ability to compose instant prayers. Who was the 5-year-old boy who composed instant Sanskrit prayers to the Lord?
Dhruva.
Dhruva through a very, because the Lord touched him with the tip of his conch. Immediately, through a 5-year-old boy was reciting instant, extempore Sanskrit verses. Amazing verses in praising the Lord. We don't, all we can do is to at least learn it and recite it. That's all we can do. So reciting the notable prayers, japa. What is japa?
Chanting Hare Krishna.
So the difference, it took me a while to understand this. Japa is for our own sake. Right? How do we chant Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is in the privacy of our confines. And there are 3 things happening. Krishna, the holy name, and we, the spirit soul. So this is the interaction that is supposed to happen in japa. If you do Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Have anyone done like that? I am guilty of that. Are the 3 things happening? Krishna, the holy name, and the soul. So connecting this is so important step of our movement, Hare Krishna movement. Because this makes or breaks everything else we do. I can tell from personal experience, nothing goes right if we don't get the japa, quality japa. If we don't relish the sweetness of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have to be able to relish each and every syllable in this Mahamantra. That is 16 rounds of that is what the prescription is. Then we wonder, why don't I feel ecstasy? Why don't I feel anything? Because we are doing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Rama. That's what we do, isn't it? So this is the foundational step in our movement, Srila Prabhupada's prescription for humanity. If we can nail this, the japa part, everything else is downhill from there. Isn't that true? You have been in the devotee for 40 years. You know from experience, right? When you are in the zone, your japa is top notch. When you are feeling, isn't that true? Devotees, full-time devotees can vouch. It's very true for all of us. So that is why driving japa doesn't cut it. Anyone driving japa? So you have the feeling, I am done, 16 rounds, I'm done. At least you have made good feeling. Then you wonder, why is the rest of the stuff not happening? So the prescription is the holy name, the Lord in your mind. You can think of the feet of the Lord, you can think of the face of the Lord, your favorite, however you want to remember the Lord, and repeat the Mahamantra. So this is a separate class in itself. So so Padma Purana, any person who is chanting the holy name, either softly or loudly, the paths to liberation, even heavenly happiness, are at once open. So what's the difference between Sankirtana and Japa?
Japa is personal.
Japa is very personal. Sankirtana is
Together.
what Vishnugada Prabhu did before, right? You can chant the Mahamantra and you can chant that, and it involves other people. Not just people, other living entities. There is trillions of bacteria and other living entities in the atmosphere, right? They get benefit by hearing the Mahamantra. The bugs, the cockroaches, anything, any plants, animals, every living entity gets benefit by loudly chanting the Mahamantra. That is Sankirtana. Okay, so that's 14 items. Rendering service to the Lord. What are the Madhajis doing there? Making garlands. Is that service to the Lord?
Yes.
What are the people in the kitchen doing? Is that service to the Lord?
Yes.
So, when people clean the bathrooms in the temple, actually, one of the things I learned when I first came to the movement is the best way you have any material troubles, any problems in the job, any problems with money, any problems with anybody, come to the temple, clean the public toilet. Anybody don't believe me? Try it. I give you a challenge. We have a public toilet in the basement. We have one in the second floor. Come here, talk to our resident devotees. They will tell you where the cleaning materials are. Clean it. Clean this floor of this temple room. Then tell me if your problem is not solved. This is worth trying. What do you have to lose? So rendering service to the Lord is a powerful way to counteract the miseries we encounter daily life. That's not the reason we should be doing it. We should be doing it out of love for the Lord, because we love the Lord. When you have a baby, you love the baby so much, you have no problem cleaning it up after number 2. You have no problem cleaning anything after it throws up. In the same way, when you love someone, you have no problem doing anything for that person, isn't it? So that should be the mode. But where do you start? It's a chicken and egg. Did the love come first and then you do it, or you do it and then... So what we have control is our actions. So we can start doing it. So rendering service to the Lord is a powerful antidote to the issues we face. And the temple gives you the facility to do that. If there was no temple, how do you do that? Right? Submission. In the Skanda Purana, this is a statement about submission to the lotus feet of the Lord. Those who are sober devotees offer their submission to the Krishna. They get into technicalities. But here is a beautiful example. A young girl and a young boy. Nobody has to tell them, talk to each other. There's a natural attraction, right? There's a teenage boy and a teenage girl in the room. Nobody has to push them to talk to each other, right? It's a very natural attraction, isn't it? At some point in life, every one of us experienced it, right? So, without any training, there's a natural attraction due to the sex symbols. This is material example, but the devotee is praying that he may develop a similar spontaneous attachment for the Supreme Lord, free from any desire for profit, without any other cause. This natural attraction for the Lord is the perfection stage of self-realization. So, So submission to the Lord, we can talk on and on about it. In the interest of time, I want to cover the rest of it. Observing Arati and celebrations of the Lord. We do that when we come to the temple, right? We see the Arati, we see Janmashtami, we see the festivals, right? Touching the deity. Unfortunately, this is not something everybody can do. You have to get qualified. Just as you want to. How many of you are computer people? Okay, quite a few. So, if you want to be the administrator of the system, you have to get qualified for that, right? In the same way, otherwise you are just a programmer or a tester. To get access to the root of the software or the system, you need to be qualified. In the same way, for touching the deity, you have to have Brahman initiation, right, Krishna Prabhu? You have to have the training, you have to have the proper way to do that. So touching the deity is a form of service which the pujaris do. Partaking of prasada. Now we are talking my language. This is something all of us can do, right? All of us have to eat. So taking prasad is something we will do in few minutes. But more importantly, at home, how many of you offer to the Lord before you eat? So for those of you who haven't tried it, just do this experiment. Have the Radha Krishna picture, or your favorite picture of Lord Krishna and Radha, and offer the food, but the food has to be no meat, no fish, no eggs, no onion, no garlic. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. So something the Lord wants to eat. Offer that and see if the taste is different. And pray to the Lord. And then see if the taste is different. Same cook, same ingredients, same dish. You can do a controlled experiment. Of no offering. See the difference in taste. Am I exaggerating?
No.
So those of you who have done it, please do. Your friends will give it to your friends. They will say, "Oh, how did your cooking improve so fast? It is so delicious. What happened?" So that is the power of prasadam, and this is a very verifiable, doable experiment. Just as the japa, if you do, at least for a week, try it. If you haven't done it, try on the beads. Madaji has the gift store. She has the beads and 108 beads on the Jabamala. So do the round japa, do the offering if you haven't done it, and then come back and see if there is any difference. So deal? Okay. Tilaka and Tulasi beads. So, why is this important? And the Tulasi beads. So, just as Prabhupada used to say, this is the dog collar for his devotees. Just as the dogs have a collar, that means there is an owner, that means it's registered, that means there is a verifiable ownership. Just as we are devotees of Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada used to say, this is our dog collar. Also, the Yamadutas. So Prabhupada says, it said that Yamaraja gave clear instructions to his assistants not to approach the Vaishnava. Vaishnavas are beyond the jurisdiction of Yamaraja's activities. So I skipped some of them, but So that is quite a big list of things associated with the temple, right? Now, when we talk about the temple, you see this physical structure. You see electricity, you see gas, you see water, you see heat. So, in order to keep doing this, what we need to do is to somehow support, keep doing this. How many of you own a home? How many of you have an apartment? Do you pay gas bill? Do you pay heating bill, electricity? So in the same way, the temple needs that, plus the deities. We only come here on Sunday and we spend maybe 1.5 hours. In order for us to give that spiritual recharge, the temple has to operate the remaining 6 days or the remaining 24/7, 6 offerings made to the deities. We need the bhoga, we need all of those expenses in order to make this happen here. So my humble request to you is, you can argue, Krishna is everywhere. Why do I need to come to the temple? God is omnipresent, Sarvavyami, right? Why should we come to the temple? Because there's umpteen Purana scriptures, references we can say, he especially appears in the temple, so as Archa Vigraha, in order to give us the opportunity, chance to serve him. So out of his mercy, he is appearing as the Archa Vigraha to give fallen souls like us the chance to serve him. So therefore, in order to keep this show going, keep this recharging facility open, and now we are building a new temple, bigger temple. In order to do this, we need to sustain it, materially speaking. And that's our responsibility. So if you go to a recharging station, if you go to a gas station, you have to pay, right? So if you come to a recharging station, you have to pay something. True?
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
Fair deal? So, in order to keep this going, so that's why we have this membership program, and which is very simple. If you make $50,000, let's say, donate $50 a month to the temple. That's only $600 a year. That will keep, whether you come or not, whether you use the restroom or not, or when you bring your friends and family, it pays for that. So in order to keep this going, we humbly request your help in order to keep this recharging station open. So please become, so I have 2 humble requests to you. Number 1, if you like what you see here today, if you like the prasadam which we are going to serve in a few minutes, please bring 1 friend next week. All of you can find 1 friend who has never come to the temple, whom you can inspire, hey, check it out. Just come once. Is that true? All of us should have that 1 friend, right? So please inspire a friend who has not come here to come here to check it out next week or the week after, whenever is possible. Number 2, Madaji here has the membership sign-up forms. Please sign up as a monthly pledge member. If you make $100,000, please give $100 a month. That comes to $1,200 a year. If your family makes $200,000 a year, please make $200 a month. That's 1% of your income, right? Less than that. So if you make $20,000, please give $11 a month. So something proportionate. Don't insult the Lord by saying, I make $500,000 a year, I'm going to give $11 a month. If you do that to a friend who is asking your help, would that be insulting?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, insulting.
Because where do Lakshmi come from?
From him.
What is money?
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi Devi, right?
Yeah.
Where does Lakshmi Devi like to reside?
The Narayan.
With the Lord. So you want to please Lakshmi Devi, you want to bring her to the Lord. And where is the Lord? Right here. So that is the blessings of Lakshmi Devi comes to people who take her to her husband. Every changed woman wants to be with her husband, right? So if you keep money locked up somewhere, don't even bring it to Narayan, do you think Lakshmi Devi would be happy? Pure logic, right?
She won't be there, she will run away.
Exactly. She wants to go with somebody who will take her to her husband. So our humble request to you is this too. Please bring a new friend. Number 2, please sign up for this membership. Whatever you can afford to give from the bottom of your heart. And it's a good fortune for us that the Lord is here, convenient for us. We can come every Sunday. We can see the Lord. We can associate with these wonderful devotees here. We can hear Krishna Gatha. So this is a blessing for us. Deal? Yeah. So Motherji, please give to people who haven't signed up yet. And if you have already signed up and for some reason you want to increase your amount, now is the time you can do that. Fair? Any questions? Any questions? About anything? Any disagreements? Did you know we do at least 20 different things in the temple? Did you know? I didn't know until I researched this. And we have a movie. Shraddha Mataji, you can give the details. There's a movie happening. When is that?
December 9th.
Okay.
The Prabhupada movie is Hare Krishna movie.
Okay.
We have arranged it to show it in a theater, and this is going to be for all the members only.
All the members. Okay. So it's a wonderful movie. Do you have the stick?
You don't.
Do we?
Can you show the theater? No.
No. That's it. So this movie, I have seen this. You've seen this, Beloved? That's an amazing movie they have made about the early days of Hare Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and his suffering, how much he had to suffer, so that we are all sitting here in this nice comfortable room and having this wonderful prasada and seeing the wonderful deities. So anybody who are members, so this is members only. And we will also want to say, next year we are going to have a calendar for our refrigerators. ISKCON Philadelphia calendar. And in the calendar, we will have of course, the Ekadashi days. We will have the festival days. We will also, if you are a member, say it's your child's birthday, and you want to sponsor the Sunday feast, we will print your name the way you want it, your child's name, and you can say if you want to remain anonymous, you can say that, but Sunday feast sponsored by Shashishekar Prabhu. So if you want, you can say, for people who want to honor their departed parents or other relatives, this is a good opportunity. But you need to be a member in order to get into that. So we will have a calendar online. We will also have a printed calendar we can stick on our refrigerators. So that will remind us all the special days and the festival days. And also the Sunday feast, you can sponsor. Annadana, right? For Shraddha, for special occasions, the most auspicious thing is to feed Vaishnavas. So sponsoring a Sunday feast is a good way to do that. Any questions, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.